Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. This is Farmers in Finance, and you're watching Rico. And coming up, Gaurav, too, is joining us straight from India. I'm in Headley, BC, beautiful little town in the outskirts of British Columbia. Right now, it's -5 degrees, so it's quite cold, and that's why the toque is wearing. We are at Farmers in Finance, episode 21. Oh, here comes Gerb. But the title is Debt Isn't the Problem, It's the Signal. By the end of the show, what I want to give you the show is about, and what is debt? I hope I can answer the question, what is debt, and where it comes from, and how it's related to money. Let me add here to the stage Gareth. Welcome, Gareth. Welcome
Hello,
back.
hello, hello,
Hey,
Rico. How are you?
very good. How are you, my
I'm
friend?
good. Awesome, awesome. Just turning on my video. Just give me a moment.
Yeah, no problem.
Hello.
Hey,
I'm at some different place
looking
today.
good. Looking
Yes.
spliffy.
Yeah. How are you?
Very good. Very good, my friend. So I don't know if you heard the show
Yeah.
is named That Isn't the Problem. It's the Signal. It's like a symptom. We're gonna be doctors. We're gonna be plain finance doctors here
Yeah.
and get down to the bottom and see how we can help out our watchers, our viewers out there into figuring out what their money problems are, or if they have achievements, what their money achievements are. Um,
You said.
just a recap from last week, we talked about wills, how to
Mm-hmm.
create one, how
Yep.
to protect your assets, and we
Mm-hmm.
talked also about the executors and how important that job is. Oh, we just lost him. He'll come back. We talked about the executor, the guardians, the beneficiary, and the importance of structuring a will. Like, why do we write it? And it's to create, if you want to. Obviously, everybody's up to their own choices, right? They can do. Anybody's free to do whatever they want. But if you want to set a legacy for your family, for your friends, whoever, for the trees out there. Since I have to plant 2 million trees, so I got to leave a legacy in that sense. So, and so one thing became clear from that, and whether you have just a little bit of saved up savings or assets, or you have a big, huge estate to give away or to part on. Um, One thing that I wanted you to take away from that show was that the government, don't give it up to the government. Just don't. I mean, I love what they're doing, but it's just, you can do better. Let's just leave it at that, or else I get shut down. Anyways, um, ju- we are just yeah, we just started scratching the surface too about debt and what it causes, and also, oh, right, and unless you build a trust, and we kind of explored it a little bit, but we just wanted to say that. mm, when here comes Gabra again. I just wanted to say that it's important to build a will and have proper structure, and also there's other ways that we can pass on estates, and one of them is trust, right? So that will tie in to today because I've been thinking after the show. I was like, well, what is the foundation? What is it actually the critical part of setting up a legacy? And it led me to obviously to recite the book that I'm just about to read. Well, I'm reading it right now, and that's why I built this show, today's show, and it was about money, and it was about how we perceived money and how money kind of controls our behaviors and the
Mm,
belief that we have about money. So that brings the idea of the show today is that isn't the problem. It's just a symptom.
mm,
Just like kind of like when you have uh, an issue, a disease, right? Like cancer is not the problem. It's what you built up to it, right? So if you
mm,
have these money beliefs and money's ideas, you get to to debt in a certain way. And so after that, I just built. I'm in the progress of building a GPT, which
mhm.
kind of gives you.
Stuck. You're
And all
stuck.
your choices. All
Yeah.
hey,
You
yeah,
stuck for a moment. Huh.
yeah. I hope the sound comes through. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Like
Now it's
it seems like both our internets are a little choppy.
yes, yes, yes. I don't know why. One
Yeah.
of them.
So, yeah. What do you think about money and debt and how they're related?
Like one simple thing, the modern money is printed out of debt. So it is very clear that they are interlinked, and somehow the capitalist economy, which is like majorly all the countries across the globe are using capitalist economy, in which debt is a very important aspect. Okay, to print money, and
Sorry.
things rises how different people think about money. Same way, people think differently about debt as well. Some people use this to expand. Some people basically not use this but misuse it to limitate them. So very simple example, debt taken for a asset is a way to grow. Access that money you don't have to acquire that dream, which wouldn't have possible without acquiring a debt, without acquiring a credit or debt from a third party or external source. On the other hand, that's a growing or a good asset debt. On the other side, a bad debt or someone who doesn't understand money will take a debt to go to Mexico, and he will be like just blowing that money, and then he will be cutting off his monthly payments or his monthly cash flow in a negative way. And what he got out of it, yeah, I love traveling myself. Okay, I'm a great fan of it. Not saying don't travel, but don't travel taking a debt or credit. So again, how you see money is the same way you see a debt. Some people fear
Yes.
money. That's why they don't talk about it. They never try to understand it. And that's why they are always in trap of money and keep working for it. And some people like ourselves, I take a pride in saying that you, me, and a bunch of people who have taken that shift in mindset and education, we understand money now and we see it differently and we don't fear it. We talk about it openly. We know how to manage it, how to tame it, not to get to our heads, but to keep it to our hands so we can play with it rather than we let it play with us. So that's the whole difference.
And there you have it, the hook of the show. Look how much passion came through. Yes, I mean, love it. I just want to get back to housekeeping a little bit here. Um, everything, a disclaimer, everything that we share on this show is just built on our own experiences as, financial planners, advisors, whatever name you want to put us in. And
Mm.
then, obviously, I do with real estate. I'm a realtor out here in the Okanagan. And so everything is built on our own experiences, not per se is great communication with other people. We talk to many people in our life and we have built certain opinions and we just want to tell you this. This is no legal advice or financial advice. If you want more specific advice to your actual situation, just feel free to give us a call or email. My email is right at the bottom. You can reach us on many channels. I'm on Financial Freedom with Rico on YouTube. I'm here on LinkedIn, going live every week, and I'm also on Facebook. So you have ways to reach us. Don't take this personally. We just want with this show to build sort of an idea,
Yeah.
okay? Give you thoughts and provoke interactions. We welcome all comments to the
Mm.
show, and let's get started. And how we do this is today's quote of the day.
Yes.
Money is just an idea. If money makes you more of what you already are, it will magnify both your strengths and your weaknesses. That was said by Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah.
Um, so, in summary, money doesn't change you, it reveals who you are. So, it
Absolutely.
magnifies. And I've heard this many times. I don't know about you,
Yeah. Yeah. A greedy person will be more greedy when he
first
gets
hook
more
there of
money.
the show.
When he will be like a greedy person will be more greedy when he gets more money. Same way, if someone is not disciplined, he will be not like undisciplined throughout. Even if he gets money, he will blow out that money. So
Yeah.
yes, like money doesn't makes you smart. Smart people make money. That's the difference.
Yeah, exactly. It's and we see it with all the entrepreneurs, don't we? That
Yep.
have started from nothing and they just built it
Yep.
because that's a prime example of like how powerful our minds are.
Yep.
And then once you reach that level, like one of my biggest gurus or I'm a big fan of is Alex Hormozy. I mean, that guy is super intelligent and he's just uncovered like every single detail. He's went through like all the rejections and he just now he's just like skyrocketing. And the more he helps people and it just the more money accumulated, the more he became like giving and he just I don't know, he's just an amazing being. So and that's what it does. Money just magnifies who you truly are, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
if if you're fearful about it, well, it will just magnify more fears, you know? "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna lose this money." So if you get a lot of
Yeah.
money, you're gonna start thinking somebody's gonna get it from you,
Yeah.
and you're gonna
Yes.
start acting and believing in certain ways.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I feel like when I first heard this, because obviously, we grow up, uh, having certain concepts, like, when we're little kids, we don't think about money, we don't really know what money is. So we just take it from our parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like when I go back and try to think when I was doing this podcast, I did some deep research and I was like, what's my first money memory? Like what kind of set the concept, right? Like of where like did I started this thinking about money, like this need for money. I mean, I'm reading the book and one of the things is like I've learned so much about myself about how I treat money and then I just wanted to see where the foundation was, right? So I was just thinking, well, maybe probably was when I first opened my first bank account, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
what what do you do? What's the first thing you did with money? Like maybe
Uh,
like getting an allowance? What was it, Gareth?
yes. It started with like getting that pocket money from my dad, and
Yeah, yeah,
it was like I always compared with others. That was the first thing I made the biggest mistake. Second thing, I always said that I don't have enough, and yeah, those were the two things. And then when I grew up, my first job, that was the first time I started to understand it. Like it's very difficult to earn. That's one thing. And then I became more
yes,
more cautious with my money, because in India, like I have told you, so many people live off on their parents' money. I was
yeah,
one of them, and I
yeah.
was living off till my master's graduation. So I was lucky enough that I got that backup, and but I still didn't understand money. I did my master in business administration. I was in a bank in my first job.
Yeah.
uh, I did my second job and still didn't understand money. I had debts in my credit cards. I was always in like a mode of spending, never saving, not investing. Until I started my own businesses, I became more aware about it. And the life changing moment was when I joined Expedia. That was the first time when I actually shifted my mindset about money, and I looked at it in different ways than what I was looking at before. And I proudly say I'm much more confident now. What about you? How was your journey about money?
Well, the first things I really liked about money, I did it when I researched, and I don't know, this might sound silly, but it was playing cards. We used to have these games
Oh,
uh,
okay.
in
I know.
Italy
Yeah, yeah,
where you bet something. It kind of was like the 21, the modern 21.
yeah. We are similar in India.
It was called Crazy Seven, where half, and but then there was like a wild card in there. One was a wild card,
Yeah,
and then there was the sevens, right?
yeah,
And if you busted, you lost your money to the dealer, right? So it's kind
okay.
of like same rules as 21, but
Yeah,
just the excitement and the risk and the strategy of how to gain it, how to win it. It just, for me, it kind of was like it made it into a little game. And then at the end of the day, like you go home and you feel so proud because you got this, like little bag of coins, right? At the time we were
yeah,
playing with coins and they were worth something.
yeah,
But yeah, that was my first experience with money, and just seeing it how it was based on the gamification of it made it feel like it was more like a game to gain it, right? And then
correct.
obviously my second memory, just like you, I remember my first job was like I was pretty good because I was like 17 at the time when I got my first job, and it was
Uh-huh,
weeding this guy's backyard, right?
uh-huh.
And I got paid pretty well, and I was like, wow, this is okay, like I could at the time I had a little car, and I was like trying to save up for my first car,
Yeah,
and I did it, and I was like, okay. And that's the same time when I was 16, because here in Canada you can get your driver license at 16. So when I was
yeah.
16, I had saved up, like $500, and I bought my first car, and I was just like,
Oh,
whoa, I'm on top of the world here, you know?
yeah. That's the first feeling. You spend something,
Yeah,
you always dreamt about it, and then you get it, and then when you're driving it, you feel that proud moment, like
oh
you're
man, you're
on
just
seven
like,
clouds.
what's up?
Yes, yes, yes. Like flexing around.
Yeah, you're just like, look at me, I'm a baller.
Yes, yes.
I
Look at
remember my
yes.
my first car was like a V8, the station
Whoa!
wagon with the paneling on the side, the wood paneling.
Wow!
It was a Ford, so it had the same engine as a Mustang, but it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just
Got it.
enclosed into a station wagon. So
Wow.
much fun! What a car!
Yeah.
What a car! Yeah.
Hmm.
So that led to, how do we start thinking about money? Like, who are the first people that teach us, or just be the examples in our lives? So I just went a little bit backwards, and I just said, okay, so it's probably our parents, right?
Yeah.
Like how we, like, and then even watching the book, it was just like it just seeing other people. Like the book is like promoting, if you want to be rich, go get yourself around rich people. And I'm just
Mm.
like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And then what is the philosophy of your father? What was the philosophy of my mother? Like
Mm.
for myself, I didn't have much of an experience to see my father and how he was about money, because he
Mm.
passed away when I was 8. But
Mm.
I saw my mother, and she was always struggling. And I mean, I saw that if it wasn't for, and that's one of the reasons why I'm in financial advising, because when we asked that question on one of the shows, it was like, who's going to take care if something happened to you, right? And like I have that experience of my dad, passing away, and then it was just like, who was going to take care of the family? And like it just almost stopped that all at once. My mom had to become, from a mother, she had to go back to her old job, and she was making good money. She was an accountant and everything, but she had to, like, rip herself apart, right?
Yeah.
And so, not having that example, the father figure, I see it as just concentrating more on what my mom was doing, right?
Mm.
And like, I built this belief that it's going to be okay. There's always going to be somebody that is going to be providing for you, right? And
Yeah.
thank God for my grandparents, because if it wasn't for them, we'd probably be poor on the streets, and this show wouldn't even be an opportunity. But
Oh.
jokes aside,
Yeah.
um, but what taught me, it was that it was the basis of my beliefs, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I didn't learn it directly. I just learned it. I think
Uh,
everybody is learning that sense. And like Robert Kiyosaki, he was the quote of the day, but he wrote a great book. And if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it's based
yeah.
on that same principle, that the poor dad was telling his kid, or the kids, because he was really good friends with this other kid. And he was telling the poor dad, well, actually, the poor dad was his dad. Sorry. And he was telling him, like, you got a job, you do the 9 to 5, and you do this, and you put your savings in the bank and everything like that. While there was the rich dad who was like, you got to take risk, you got to manage your risks, right? You got to go
Yeah.
into the proper avenues, right? And to explore, uh, you know, uh, opportunities, right? And
Yeah.
and so they were taught differently, and that gives you again that sort of relation, what the rich people are taught and how they grow up, and how the
Mm.
poor people are taught, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, have you experienced this? Like
Yeah.
you?
My dad always like my family migrated from a village to a city, so they
Yeah.
were always on a saving mode. They never took like a risk. No doubt, he's still a very hardworking man, but being rich doesn't come just from hard work. That's what I have learned. One thing, and all the habits like savings and everything. I saw my dad and like whatever see, it was like they're always saving it for us, always saving it for us, always saving it for us. And at one point I thought, like, if they could have taken some, no doubt we are doing well, we have a paid off house, I am living a very, like, without my money also my parents are doing good, like they have a good house and they have like little bit of money saved for themselves. But again, they never took risk for money, they never took a risk, like accidentally bought some shares and they grew it by like 1,000 times. And now my dad says, like, instead of me saving, I could have just took some risk, and whatever we are doing we could have been like 10 times better, maybe another house or maybe another shop or something like that. So that's what I learned from my dad, that uh, always saving money is not the answer, is not the solution for everything. But again, like rich dad poor dad, how things differ is basically how you treat the money, how much risk you take around that, how you use it. And then everything like which you have mentioned on the slide very well, beliefs, habits, emotional patterns, money conditioning, it all come from your family. You
Yeah.
change afterwards. And again, like somebody has to grow or somebody has to change it. At some I was reading this book in which it was written that at till some age your reflection of your parents upbringing, but after a certain, the day you decide and take things in your hand, you become aware, reflection of yourself. So that's what I changed. I started to take risk. I started to like actually not save it but to invest it. And first go my parents were not very happy to learn about this, that I started a small business with my job, and I'm like, no, 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 what are you doing? And they're little feared, you will lose the money or you will be in debt. And that was because of a debt only, that I took a debt and then I invested. But that
Yeah.
gave me that confidence. Like one small business led to like three more. And yes, that was like how I grew up seeing money around me.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, exactly. Looking at this slide, right? You have a belief, you grow up with what your parents and your mom and dad were telling you about money. Even your grandparents probably influenced you in this, right? And
Yeah,
then you have created these habits around it, right? Because it's patterns that they taught you, right? And then there's
yeah,
these emotional feelings that you get, just like getting your first car, right? Or
yeah,
buying something that you always dreamed of and now you can have it, and then obviously that feedback loop then
yeah,
conditions your money beliefs, right?
yeah,
And
absolutely. Oh, you're stuck again. Both of our internets are not good today.
just hearing you out, it was your mom and dad, right? Like, and so
Yeah,
you had to go surpass that feeling, that emotion that was attached, and be like, no, I know what I'm doing, and now you took control, right? And that's what most people have to do, right? If they don't like what situations they're in, they have to break that emotional attachment to it, right? And they have to
yeah,
change. and
absolutely.
and it's like what you said too, like, and same thing for me when I first joined that other company. But even with Xperia, like when I started learning about money and investing and doing all this stuff and becoming conscious of it as well, like with
Mhm.
budgeting and doing a financial analysis, then I was
Yeah,
like, okay, I have emotional patterns that I have to fix before I can move on, right?
yeah,
and and that's why the scope of this this show is just to understand where money comes from and what belief pattern is in our mind, right? Because
yeah.
there's one thing that the millionaire mind does, and we'll see it. So I've created like a GPT. I'm still in the works, and
Hmm.
and we'll see it later on. And we'll do a little bit of an example, but it's to create sort of like uh, I mimicked when you do a confession. I mean, I'm a Catholic, so there was like this important moment where you went in and you confessed your day, and then the priest tells you, "Okay, do this Hail Marys or whatever, recite this prayer 15 times," and then that actually, has a sense with what I've read so far because it affects your subconscious, right?
Yeah,
Affirmations and prayers. That's what it
yeah,
does. It reprograms your subconscious that when you're doing things that need fast thinking, you do them naturally, right? Like when you
yes,
see, and then you turn in. The people talk about turning in your NLP, like where you look at the red cars or the lady in the red dress. If you want to talk about the Matrix, but it's like it turns it into being focused on achieving your goals, your dreams, right? Like, so
Yeah.
one of the important steps and that I've done in the other company again was to write 100 goals down, right?
Yeah.
And it's just the same as getting my car as I was 16. It was just the same as achieving one goal and then just going checking it off, right? So
Yeah.
so in a sense, it's like it's like this is what I wanted to create with this GPT is a confession, like, and you spoke about it too before, which is I believe it's truth is when people are so shy about talking about their money because it's never talked about, right? It's
Absolutely.
never like uh, being
Common topic in
discussed
your
at the
family.
family level, unless obviously I don't know about me, but I consider I was raised in a middle class family, not
Same
like
here.
not extremely poor, but in the middle, right? So
Yeah.
we have different beliefs than the rich people, and I acknowledge that, right? And
Yeah.
so those memories have shaped up how we act and how we deal with money and how we deal with the opportunities too. Like have had so many opportunities in my life, and then when I look back, I'm like, oh man, I should have done this. But what happened? What was my uh, inner belief? And I'm trying to fix it, and that's why I think this GPT can help. It's just helping myself, and then I can help others with it. And one thing that I'm true to it, and I just want to plug it in, is that whatever I learn, I'm not an expert in anything, but whatever I learn, I want to teach it because then I learn it even better, right?
That's the whole idea.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, we talked about this. What did you learn when you grew up, right? And then this was leading to this question: is like, are you gonna repeat what your parents did, or are you gonna rebel? And what we heard from Gaurav, he kind of
Rebel.
was he caught him, but then you sat down and you realized, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna I call it rebel because it's going opposite to what your parents were teaching you, and
Yep.
then you create this awareness, right? Like now you're pretty successful, and you have achieved different things, and now you have multiple businesses, and you are teaching everyone on the team from far away. So yeah,
Yes. That's like I decided to rebel, not to repeat the same patterns, and it helped me. It's not like that. Whatever lessons I learned from my parents, it didn't help. Yes, it also helped a lot to like. I can say it was the base from where which I was able to rebel. If I didn't have that base, I wouldn't have been this smarter which I am right now.
yeah, that's right, like it creates that awareness, and I don't know. My example is to take examples of people that have come from nowhere. I never really followed like rich people that are continuing on their lines and their heirs, and I'm sure they're having difficulties too in these modern times. I'm sure everybody's got their problems, right?
Yeah.
But I am more like my story kind of lines more to people that are coming from nowhere, right? Kind of like Robert Kiyosaki or Alex Hormozy or Grant Cardone, right? Like all these people that have had nothing and now they have everything, and now they're teaching other people as well, right? Because there's some people that reach their goals of being rich and wealthy, but they don't go and teach it to other people as well,
No.
right?
Yeah. That is
So
the biggest problem in the world. People
yeah,
know how to get rich, but people never share. They
yeah,
never ever share.
yeah. Yeah, and well, I mean, as long as there's some people are sharing, so that's great because I feel like it's the people that are sharing that are making this world a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's it's very interesting on how to kind of rebel and go against the patterns that you have built up. But like you said, it was meant to be that way because we wouldn't be here, right? We wouldn't be talking or
Absolutely.
we wouldn't be teaching. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
if I was like, for example, if I was still with my dad, right? He was starting to get rich. He had a very successful job. I remember that at one time he bought two cars in the same,
wow.
right, from the same dealership. I was like, wow, we're moving up. You know, one was like bright red. I still remember it, and there were Renaults, right? And at the time, there were just like really nice cars, right? And I
Yeah.
was like, wow, he's doing well. He's becoming successful, right? And when he got sick, then there was nobody that was taking care of him, right? And then the payments for the cars were too much, right? And well, I learned this afterwards, but was I witnessing for myself, and the pattern is like, I kind of t- was taught this because I was talking to this GPT, and she just reflect or mirror back to what I was saying, and what I discovered there was that I was kind of going against success because
Uh-huh.
I saw my dad, and I recognized the pattern that is like, well, he's doing well. We're living in a nice place, like two cars, and then all of a sudden, boom, it comes tumbling down, right? So I kind of built that concept. I was just like, oh no, I don't want that, right? And so you just
Yeah.
go and repel it, right? But it was just an awareness that I got again, and I built up, like a pattern around it, right?
Hmm.
Like I do something, and then I continue and continue, and then when I'm just so close to getting an achievement, I just go, no, I sabotage, I self sabotage. And the prime example for me is it's the farm. I was building it
Hmm. You got stuck.
when I found something that was working, a little bit that I was losing it. I just said, no, it's not working. I just stopped myself. So it kind of went against what I wanted to do and be successful. But hey, it's a work in progress.
Hmm.
So this leads us to debt, right?
Yes.
And Gaurav mentioned it before, which was a great hook, and it's the way we think about that. And then obviously, we're going to talk about it in the next show a little bit more in depth. But is is different people have different ideas of what debt is. I mean,
Yeah.
if we talk about Robert Kiyosaki, which he was our introductory quote, he says there is good debt and there's bad debt, and like you said, it was like some people will buy a house and they get into debt and pay the mortgage and understand that there's appreciation of your debt, there is the escalation of the debt, and then also there is inflation which works with debt. So if you take on a debt of $200,000 to, let's say, 20 years ago, now how do you feel about that debt? Well, it feels like, oh, it's nothing, right? Like it's a quarter of the value of the house now because your house is worth $1 million and you paid 2,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So that again, it's based on this money belief that you built on, right?
Yeah.
So you could question yourself, do I deserve this, right? Or 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 some people are just like, oh, I'll take on this debt and then I'll figure it out later.
Way out later. That's
Like
the most common I have heard. Like, let's get this, and what are the payments? Honey, we will do it. Don't worry. and then
Well,
started to
what's
worry
the
for some time.
yeah, what's the number one debt we work with and try to fix first, right?
Yeah,
And, and this is what's causing this behavior, right?
yeah,
And
absolutely.
w- w- actually, when we grew up, and me and you, we're almost the same age, but there was no credit cards,
No,
right? Like people
no.
had the money in their account, had to save it somehow, and then they went off and then just did whatever they wanted to do. If they wanted to go on the vacation, if they want to put it into to investments, but there was no like, I'll pay for it now with this free money, and then later I'll figure it out, right?
There was
And
not
then
much cases of debt. Like even the houses were not given on debts. They were like all cash, or you
yeah,
used to take help from your relatives or something like that. But it
yeah,
was never.
that's right.
And nowadays, like I'm so scared, man. People, literally, vacation is one simple thing. In India, you can take debt for pretty much everything. They have
Mhm,
credit cards for EMI specifically. Like this credit
mhm.
card is just for EMI. Like normally we work like this, that credit card converts at certain transactions. On certain credit cards you buy anything. You buy, let's say you bought 300, I will say my currency 300 INR of coffee, you can convert that into EMI. Can you imagine? That's happening right now.
Yeah. No, I was actually watching this YouTuber that says
Mhm.
that, oh, this credit card gives you money back in
Yeah,
crypto. I was like,
yeah, like
it doesn't
again,
give you money back.
it's no there. I use certain credit cards which give me, like I book my flights free of cost.
Yeah, that's right. Like they give you points and stuff like that, but it's not
Exactly.
that it gives you money back because you're
N-
still booking that flight,
yes,
right?
it's not like you take it and they start giving out money. You have to spend it to get it, but again, you have to be smart with it.
Oh, 100%.
You have to know the how the what are the rule of the game.
Yeah,
If you don't,
exactly. Great point. Great point. It's like you got to build a habit, right? Like if
yeah.
so um there was this one money consciousness book that I was reading. It's it's now being so easy to just, spend $1,000, $2,000 and just tap, right? But
Yeah.
imagine if you actually had to count it, or count your gold coins, whatever the currency was back in
Hmm.
the day. Look, this is money that I saved up. Now, what I'm seeing is this my card game, right? When you had that coin and then you put it on the table and then, the dealer wins and he takes it away, then it's like, whoa, whoa. Am I going to be more careful next time? Probably. So it's the same thing with the credit card debt, right? Like
Yeah.
if it's just so easy, it's like, well, I didn't feel like I just spent $1,000. I didn't have to count it. I didn't have to do anything, right? But there
Mm-hmm.
is ways that you can create a habit, and one of them that I'm going to teach really quickly here is take that receipt and then make it a habit to register it somewhere. Put it on a spreadsheet, take a picture of it, just look at it. Look how much money you spent on taxes. Look at the whole thing, analyze it, look at the date, right? Write it down because that at least gives you an attachment to what you've just done. It just doesn't connect it emotionally. The problem is that we get caught in these emotional patterns that we kind of like get addicted to it, just like gambling, right? No one to stop.
It's like a drug.
It's like a drug, right? It gives you that dopamine feeling, right?
Yeah.
And then you're
Absolutely.
just like hooked and you just can't get away from it. And, you know, we do hear these stories and all of a sudden now you're like, oh yeah, I'm living my life paycheck to paycheck. Well, uh, you have done something. And that's why the
You're
name
living
of
that
this
way.
show is Debt is Not the Problem. It's just a signal. Like you have accumulated the debt because you have done certain things that have caused you to end up in this situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's there's certain ways, like you mentioned it, Gav. It's like it's a game, right? And
Yeah.
and and if you have to know the rules, or else you end up losing, right? And
Yes.
and
And the bad thing about this game is you don't lose once. You lose every day, every month, every second you feel loser. And the more you try to avoid it, and what's the sad thing? When people stress about money, how they get rid of it? By spending more money.
yeah,
That's the only thing.
yeah,
Like people, like they stress eating, they stress shopping as well.
yeah, yeah,
And
hundred
that's the
percent.
worst thing. That's the worst thing. And people still don't talk about it. Like I know so many people because I have been like trying to teach money to so many people. And when I see their stories, they don't have like $100 to save, but next day I see them going shopping at these one of the there's this great shopping mall by the airport in the BC. So they go there, they spend like $500. And when I ask like, what's your current situation? Oh, I don't have money. Why? Because I'm paying my debt. And then I see them spending $500, $1,000 just on one single shopping day. And that's make me go nuts. Like why people don't understand it. Like especially for immigrants like us, coming to Canada gives you an opportunity to grow. It's not an opportunity to grow your debt. And that's what an average Canadian is growing right now. On an average, every Canadian has $23,000 of debt right now, which means it's a negative saving habit in people.
Yes, yes.
And that's what scares me the most. And people don't get it at all. People have
Well,
lost it.
I I understand how it could be, like a fear, but that's what we're doing with this show, I believe, is that we are educating people that so that they don't make bad decisions, right? Obviously, like what we said last week, is we can show you the water, but you have to drink it, right? So you got to create the patterns in your life. We can show you how, and there's many examples. You can't have a rejection on this, right? Like there's no opposing unless you have the money belief that it's it's that you want to keep, because I don't know, you built up some emotional attachment to it. But yeah, this experience as well, and then very difficult to talk about, money, for some people. I see. And well, I must be honest, it was difficult for me too. Like, like you're so proud of yourself, like you think you're doing what you're doing is right, but it's what you don't know that it becomes the issue, right? and
Yeah.
and so the other thing too is like, don't stop learning, because it is a game, right? And people are using kind of like a chess game. They make moves, and then they see how people react to it, and then they go on, right? But because at first monies was set up, like in truthfulness, for like it was an object so that we didn't have to trade, right? Like things, it was just a concept. It's like, you don't have to trade this, let's base value for what it's worth, it how much work is in it, how many resources we're taking out of it, and then you can trade it for something else, right?
Yeah.
But now they've created this debt system. That's what changed the perception. So we can't go back to how our grandparents or great grandparents were using money. Now we have to change our belief system, because the rich are getting richer because they understand that there is good debt and bad debt, right?
Yeah.
And that's why we're going to talk more into depth next week, because I feel like it's very important to really deconstruct. And then that's why I want to get this money blueprint out, this GPT, because it, you don't have to talk to me, you don't have to talk to Gaurav, but you can just input it into you and then just create this awareness how I feel about money. So I'm going to share my screen here now, and we'll I'll just remove this one, and then we'll see like just a little demo of
Mhm.
what I was trying to do with this. Yeah, there we go. So the money, I separated this into 4 sections, and the
Mhm.
first section is the money blueprint. It's pretty simple. It's not like super confusing. I wanted to make it straightforward.
Yeah.
So the first question is, when you think about money, what does it primarily represent to you? A, freedom. B, control. C, responsibility. D, stress. Or E, natural. It's just a concept, right?
Yeah.
So can we play a role? Can you answer this question? What does it represent to you, Gareth?
For me, it's a concept. It's just a concept, nothing more. You understand
It,
it, you control
it's
it.
just a concept. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll go with E, neutral. Um, yeah, for me, I answer that question. It's freedom. I see that the more I have, the more I accumulate. Freedom. So, but and we'll go into it because I did input a few. Um, so money feels detached because it's philosophical, just a construct. It's spiritual, it shouldn't matter. The system feels broken, but it never really sticks anyway.
A, it's philosophical, just a
It's
construct.
philosophical. Money feels
Yeah.
detached. Okay. Hey. Hey. Okay. Okay. So now we go on to section 2, money, safety, and security. Okay. So when you answer this question, I feel financially safest when A, I have savings and reserves. B, I stay lean and flexible. C, I owe rather than fully own. D, I trust things will work out.
Mm,
Which one fits best with you?
I'll go for A again. I have savings and reserves.
And reserves. Okay. We'll now go a little deeper into that. That sense of safety that money gives you by savings comes mostly
It's stuck.
you just want to be
You were stuck, but the sense of safety comes from flexibility.
flexibility. Okay. C.
Yeah.
Now, section 3, identity. So we build an identity around money, right, from our patterns, an ethical filter. So answer directly, no overthinking here. Finish this sentence, and we'll get the microphone going once you finish the sentence. Okay. So people who have a lot of money usually
Are the people who understand the money.
are the people that usually understand money. Oh, I hear the little one. The people. Welcome to the show, little Malik guy, Malik Jr.
Little Malik is getting naughty every day.
Are the people that usually understand money. Okay, perfect. So now complete this sentence. If I become very wealthy, I might lose what?
Hmm. Interesting one.
I'm
If
going
I
deep
become
here.
very wealthy, I might lose being mediocre.
I might lose being mediocre.
Yes.
And then this is what I suggest is when you use this GPT, do it with either text to speech or just have a conversation because it gets your mind more flowing. I mean, we're doing a short version here, but like if you want to go deeper, this will help you to truly find your patterns and really dig deep into your money concepts. So, uh, which statements feel closest to your truth?
A.
Wealth amplifies who I am. Wealth
A.
changes who I am. Wealth distances people. Wealth corrupts people.
It's A. Wealth
Hey, yes,
amplifies who I am.
we're
That's
both
what
the
where we
same
started.
at this point. Good. One more this section. The value I feel most protective of is integrity, freedom, equality, belonging, autonomy. The value
A.
I feel most
A.
protective of. Integrity?
Yes.
Very good. A. And then last section is action and continuity. So um, this will go into deep little bit more on how you act with money. So
Mm.
when my income increases, I tend to A, build system and structures. B, start strong but lose momentum. C, spend or reallocate quickly. D, slow down when responsibility increases. E, disrupt things when they feel too stable. Which one
A.
is
A.
A?
Build
You
more
want to go with A.
systems, build more businesses, and then structure them so it gives you more returns.
I want you also to reflect. How would you have answered that 10 years ago, for example? Right? Would the answers be different than what you've learned? Oh.
Momentum usually breaks when. Mm,
Momentum usually breaks when A, responsibility increases. B, things become repetitive. C, other people start noticing. D, it feels too good to last. E, life becomes stable.
uh,
Have you ever experienced that? You have momentum,
life
you're doing
becomes
something, and then all of a sudden, oh,
momentum usually breaks when uh, for me it's responsibility increases when
okay.
something unexpected comes in,
Yeah.
then things change.
Did you experience that recently? Maybe with the baby?
Yes. You got it so right.
Well, yeah, I've been there, done that. Okay, so here's the results of your money blueprint, and I wanted to test out is you're an ethical builder. You approach money from a position of principle. You do not chase it emotionally. You analyze it conceptually. Your blueprint signature, money lid. You're neutral. Philosophical detachment. Safety pattern. So you're seeking security seeking, flexibility based. Identity filter, integrity and protective. Action pattern, system builder, responsibility triggered. What this means, you do not emotionally worship money, you intellectualize it. Inte- Seeing it as a construct gives you distance and clarity, but it can also reduce urgency. You feel safest when there is structures and reserves, yet that safety is rooted in maintaining flexibility, not control. Your identity is strongly tied to integrity. Wealth does not threaten who you are, but mediocrity does. That's powerful. You build systems well. However, when responsibility increases, growth slows. Not because you can't handle it, but because responsibility activates weight, not expansion. Your
Exactly.
ceiling is not fear, it is philosophical detachment combined with responsibility sensitivity. The
Oh,
reframe here, what I'm suggesting with this GPT is money is not just a construct, it is a tool that magnifies discipline intent. Daily alignment sentence for you. Wealth strengthens my integrity and expands my responsibility without diminishing me.
Hmm.
Structural adjustment. Instead of increasing workload, increase leverage.
Hmm.
Build one system that reduces personal responsibility while increasing output.
Yes.
Responsibility should scale through structure, not through personal burden.
Hmm.
Retest instructions. So I give you this exercise. So for 14 to 30 days, you repeat this alignment to yourself, right? You repeat the sentence, wealth strengthens me,
Wow.
my integrity. And then after 14 to 30 days, I suggest, well,
Retest
to
it.
redo it,
Yeah.
go through it and see if you're breaking the patterns.
No.
What do you think?
Wow. Never thought
Well,
of never thought of money like this. Never ever.
right?
Yeah.
Man, when I built it, I was just like, oh my
It's
God.
it's it's more than numbers. It's
It,
like
it
the
is.
again. It is the. I think your you speak yours about yourself, how you see money,
Hmm.
because we never think about money so deep. Never ever. We think money in numbers, not in concepts, not related to emotions or like your patterns or like there's so many things you have just highlighted. Like how a character is revealed, that's how your money character is revealed in this one. It's pretty good actually. I will suggest if you can basically uh, show it to the team as well.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Training to
Yes.
the team.
Yes. It is something for sure.
Yeah,
And just
because
letting you
this will
know.
align. Because
Yeah.
as soon as I learned this, I was like, oh my God. Because I answered it differently. I mean, we can go over it next week, but I answered it differently because I do believe money is freedom. But again, like it just puts so much into perspective. The way, like I handle things are so different from probably what you do because, uh, like, it taught me that because of freedom, I'm freedom based. It taught me that I'm not too good with budgeting, and I was just like, oh yeah, that's right. But it's a way that you need to reframe the way you think about it and then see it in all the perspective and then be able because be able to teach it is different than be able to understand who you are, but you have to understand who you are and what your beliefs are about money in order to align and continue on and become successful, right? Whatever success looks for you, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I thought this was a great thing. And yeah, we're just a little bit over time here.
That's
um,
fine.
yeah, that's fine. This was good.
This
So
was amazing.
I'm glad you enjoyed that. And sorry
Yeah.
to put you on the spot, but
No, that's fine. That's fine. Like I want everyone. I'm like I say that everyone should be comfortable with money talks. Then I should be comfortable with the money talk, and I am right now.
you wouldn't
And
have
thanks for
answered the question about it.
what?
Right, right. Like it's like
Yes.
whenever you talk about money, if you're surprised, then we should be make it easy for us to talk about money. I mean, we have to advise on people. We have to plan for other people, but we have to really understand what ticks people, right? And
Yeah.
that's why I created this GPT. It was first I started with myself. I needed to understand what my attachment was to money, and then I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, so now I can create a pattern and understand what other people feel about money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, anyways, thank you so much for watching this show, and if you're watching in the future, thank you again. Um, this was Rico, and we talked about debt isn't the problem. Uh, it's just the surface of the signal, the symptom to what your money concept are. Next episode, I want to talk more about that and really go into depth and have a great discussion again with Garv. And if you want to reach us, you can reach us at farmersinfinance.com. Obviously, the website is coming up and running. You know, a few things are running, but you can reach us by email, rico@farmersinfinance.com. Or Gaurav, what's your email?
Mine one is gmalik at experiorfinancial.ca.
gmalik@experiorfinancial.ca.
Yes.
Any closing quote there, Gaurav, you want to leave to the show?
It's just be comfortable talking about money, and that's the only way you will be able to understand yourself and how you react to money in different situations. And world is changing fast, and it can't work on old beliefs. Be a student for your life. Be a rebellious student that asks questions not only to yourself but people around you, to the system, to the governments. Then only you will be able to find out like how you will get freedom out of this money, or how you will get freedom within the money.
Yes, beautifully said. Okay, until
Thank you
next
for
time,
having me.
I will see you next Wednesday, same
Yep.
time, 8 o'clock, 8 a.m.
Yes.
And I wish you a great week, everyone watching this, and have a good
See
day.
you. Take care. Bye
Okay, bye,
bye.
Gareth. Have a good
Thank
day.
you for having me again. Bye.
Yep, no problem. Thank you for coming.